There's a storm brewing over Ibrox, and the winds of change are howling louder by the day. Rangers Football Club, one of Scotland's most storied institutions, stands at a pivotal crossroads. It's a summer that feels heavier than most. Not just with the weight of expectation, but with the promise of a seismic shift in direction. With rumors of a takeover intensifying and the manager's chair still cold from the last departure, everything at the club right now is under scrutiny. The fans, they're watching every move with wide eyes and held breath. And if the whispers are true, we might be on the brink of something big. Very big. Behind closed doors, talk of a double signing is gaining traction. Two key moves that could turn the tide just when Rangers need it most. But this is about more than new faces or fresh boots on the training pitch. It's about setting a tone. It's about ambition, authority, and telling the rest of the Scottish Premiership, and perhaps beyond, that Rangers are serious about reclaiming their place at the top. Because after the chaos of the past season, the Ibrox faithful aren't just hoping for change. They're demanding it. Let's talk context. Since February, when Philippe Clement was relieved of his duties, the manager's seat has been a revolving door of speculation. Barry Ferguson stepped in on an interim basis, steadying the ship as best he could, but it's already been confirmed he won't be taking the reins long term. That leaves the door wide open. Then a number of intriguing names have been linked, most notably Davide Ancelotti, son of the legendary Carlo. While Davide remains in discussions with a European side, his father, recently appointed Brazil, boss, hinted that if things don't work out, he could return to Madrid. It's the kind of name that gets tongues wagging and fans dreaming. Yet even without a permanent manager in place, Rangers have wasted no time reshaping the squad. The exits came first. Yannis Hagi, Tom Lawrence, and Leon Balogun are all moving on. Meanwhile, the loan spells of Horatio Casanjo and Václav Cerny have quietly run their course. And let's pause on Casanjo for a moment. The 23-year-old defender who arrived on loan from Feyenoord never quite managed to make his mark. Hampered by injury throughout the season, he only managed 15 appearances. A cruel knee issue kept him sidelined for over 30 matches. Still, his farewell message on social media was heartfelt, thanking the Rangers family for their support, and saying he wore the shirt with pride even when he couldn't be on the pitch. Now, as Casanjo returns to the Netherlands, Rangers look to rebuild stronger. One of their earliest moves came with the pre-contract signing of Dundee midfielder Lyle Cameron, a promising start to what could be a very active window. But they're not stopping there. Talks have already begun for another player from Dens Park, the versatile Josh Mulligan. The issue negotiations have hit a snag largely because the managerial situation remains unresolved. And with Charlton Athletic also, sniffing around time is very much of the essence. That same uncertainty has cast doubt over a permanent deal for Václav Cerny. The winger's future now looks set to lie away from Glasgow, with Turkish side Trabzonspor stepping in. Reports suggest they've already opened talks with Wolfsburg, and they're confident of striking a deal. Rangers too have been in touch with the German club, but it seems the Turks are a step ahead, and Wolfsburg, keen to cash in, might not wait around. Of course, it's not just about players leaving. There's interest in Rangers' assets too, including Albanian midfielder Net Baharami. His debut season in Scotland was anything but smooth. Struggling to adapt, he failed to hit the heights many had hoped for. But insiders claim he's determined to stay and fight for his place under whoever takes charge next. That said, Italian side Sassuolo are rumored to be preparing a bid. Around £2.1 million, significantly less than the £3.4 million Rangers paid just last summer. Whether that offer is enough to tempt the board remains to be seen. All of this is unfolding while a potential takeover edges closer. American investor Andrew Cavanaugh and 49ers Enterprises are said to be nearing a full acquisition of the club. If it happens, it won't just be a new chapter. It could be a whole new book. The vision they bring, the funds they might inject, and the structural changes they could implement would send shockwaves through Scottish football. Combine that with a new manager and a rebuilt squad, and you're talking about a completely different Rangers, one aiming not just for domestic dominance, but perhaps a return to relevance in Europe too. Off the pitch, more changes are coming. The club recently confirmed further construction at Ibrox this summer. Last year, building works on the Copland Road stand forced Rangers to play their early competitive fixtures away from home. Now, with the 2025-2026 season on the horizon, they've informed supporters of new upgrades. An email sent out explained that metal barriers in front of row A in the Copland rear will be replaced with specialist glass ones pending local authority approval. In addition, work has begun on new toilet facilities, long requested by fans, which should be ready before the season kicks off. Further enhancements will continue throughout the year, aiming to improve the overall matchday experience in both the stand and concourse. And let's not forget the international scene. Rangers forward Hamza Egerman has received another call-up from Morocco. He'll feature in a friendly doubleheader against Tunisia and Benin next month. The young striker, who scored 16 goals and assisted 3 more in his debut season, is quickly becoming a key figure for club and country. After making his senior debut in March, he's now set to earn a few more caps, joining a squad that includes Champions League finalist Achraf Hakimi, Real Madrid's Brahim Diaz, and Yusuf Enesiri of Fenerbahce. It's a proud moment for the player and a testament to his development in Glasgow. Meanwhile, Rangers have outlined their pre-season schedule for the upcoming campaign, and while anticipation builds around who will lead the team into that schedule, it's clear that this summer is about more than just training matches and signings. It's about identity, it's about direction, it's about laying foundations that will support the club for years to come. With the right decisions, now Rangers can do more than just recover from a turbulent season. They can rise from it stronger, smarter, and more unified than ever. Stay with us because everything is pointing toward a transformative few weeks. And while nothing is guaranteed in football, one thing's for certain. At Ibrox, the story is far from over. As the days roll on, the sense that Rangers are standing on the edge of something monumental only grows stronger. It's not just talk anymore. The pieces are moving, and every headline feels like a new step toward a club ready to redefine itself. The quiet murmur of restructuring has turned into a drumbeat that echoes through the halls of Ibrox. You can feel it in the fan forums, you hear it on the streets, and you sense it in the urgency of every club communication. The rebuild is not just cosmetic, it's foundational, and with key decisions looming, the pressure is unlike anything seen in recent seasons. Supporters have been vocal. They've made it clear they want a manager who understands the weight of the badge, someone who can command respect in the dressing room and galvanize the squad. It's not about gimmicks or flashy reputations. It's about tactical clarity, mental toughness, and a deep understanding of what it means to represent Rangers. The names floated in recent weeks from international tacticians to promising young minds show just how broad the search has become. But the delay in appointing a new manager is beginning to have a ripple effect. Transfers that should be closing are stalling. Players who might have been swayed by a clear project are now looking elsewhere. The club can't afford to linger much longer. Yet despite the limbo, some groundwork has been laid. The deal for Lyle Cameron was a shrewd move. The type of signing that suggests a return to smart recruitment rather than reactive spending. And in Josh Mulligan, Rangers see another piece that could offer energy and versatility in midfield. But this isn't about plugging holes anymore. It's about building a unit, a squad with identity and cohesion. For too long, Rangers have been stuck in cycles of short-term fixes, bringing in players for a season or two with no long-term plan in sight. That model simply doesn't work anymore, especially with rivals strengthening and European competition demanding consistency and depth. The potential takeover by Andrew Kavanagh and 49ers Enterprises adds a whole new layer to this already fascinating saga. It's not just about money, though. That will, of course, be a factor. It's about vision, about infrastructure, and about creating an environment that breeds success from the academy to the first team. If the deal crosses the line, expect sweeping changes, from boardroom decisions down to training facilities and scouting operations. American investment in football has a mixed record across Europe, but if done right, it could be the catalyst for a modernized, more globally connected Rangers. One that can compete not just with Celtic, but with the financial firepower of clubs across the continent. In the meantime, the current leadership at the club faces a balancing act. They must continue operating with urgency, making decisions that align with the future they want to build, even if that future isn't entirely clear yet. Letting go of veterans like Balogun and Lawrence may seem ruthless, but it signals a shift in mentality. No more holding on to players based on sentiment or past contributions. This is about the future, the next generation. Players who are hungry, fit, and ready to give everything week in and week out. And that includes deciding who really fits into that picture. Net Baharami, for instance, is a polarizing figure among the fan base. His talent is obvious, but his first season was underwhelming. Still, he's young and reportedly eager to stay and prove himself. Whether the incoming manager sees value in that remains to be seen. Sassuolo's interest complicates things, and the proposed fee is far from what Rangers would ideally recoup. It's a dilemma the club must navigate carefully. Selling too soon could mean losing a player just as he's about to flourish. Holding on could waste a valuable squad spot and salary space if he doesn't kick on. Then there's the question of identity. What kind of team will Rangers be next season? Aggressive and high-pressing, more cautious and possession-oriented. These decisions depend entirely on the managerial appointment. That's why getting it right is absolutely critical. It's not just about tactics, it's about tone. About setting a standard in training, in the dressing room, in the media. The right manager could re-energize a fan base desperate for direction. The wrong one could send things spiraling further out of control. Construction work at Ibrox adds yet another storyline to an already packed summer. Though frustrating for some fans, the upgrades to the Copland Road stand are a necessary step in improving the overall experience. The decision to install glass barriers and expand toilet facilities might seem minor, but in the modern game, these elements matter. Supporters expect more than just good football. They want a match day that feels world-class from the moment they step into the ground, and Rangers are clearly taking steps to address those concerns. Communication with fans has improved, and the acknowledgement of past disruptions shows a level of transparency that hasn't always been present in previous regimes. All of this contributes to a feeling of controlled chaos. It's not the ideal scenario. No manager, no confirmation on ownership, and multiple squad gaps to fill. But there's a sense that this is the necessary storm before the calm. Sometimes a club needs to be stripped back to its roots before it can rise again. Rangers have the infrastructure, the fan base, and the history to bounce back stronger. But only if the right choices are made now. There can be no more half measures. Hamza Eigenmann's international call-up is a reminder that even amid the noise, there are bright spots. The forward has enjoyed a breakout season, and his inclusion in Morocco's senior squad is a testament to his rapid development. Facing Tunisia and Benin might not be the biggest fixtures on paper, but they offer him another stage to shine and grow. With talents like him emerging, there's a clear incentive for Rangers to continue trusting youth to invest in development and stop relying solely on the transfer market to solve problems. What lies ahead is still unclear, but one thing is certain. The next few weeks will shape the club's direction for years to come. Every appointment, every signing, every statement from the board will be dissected and debated by a support that refuses to settle for mediocrity. Rangers fans don't just want a team that competes. They want a team that dominates. That brings silverware back to Ibrox and stands toe-to-toe with Europe's best. And while there's still a mountain to climb, the first steps are being taken. The journey back to the top won't be easy. It never is. But with the right vision, the right people, and the right mentality, Rangers can begin to dream again. The rebuild is underway. And while it may not be glamorous right now, it's laying the groundwork for something far greater. Watch this space, because the story of Rangers is far from finished. In fact, it may just be getting started. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers swirling around Ibrox this week suggest that Carlos VELA, the mercurial Mexican forward, could be on his way to Rangers in what would be one of the most surprising moves of the summer. While no official statement has been made by either party, sources close to the situation hint that initial contact may already have been established between VELA's representatives and the Glasgow Giants. The former Arsenal and Real Sociedad star has been plying his trade in the MLS with Los Angeles FC, where he has carved out a reputation as one of the league's most lethal attackers. With his contract reportedly nearing its conclusion, speculation has grown rapidly about his next destination, with Rangers now emerging as a possible landing spot for the 35-year-old. Insiders suggest that Rangers' boss is keen to add both experience and flair to the attacking ranks ahead of the upcoming campaign. VELA, with his extensive European pedigree and eye for goal, could fit that bill perfectly. While some have questioned whether the player would be interested in braving the cold nights at Ibrox after years in sunny California, others point out his well-known competitive nature and appetite for new challenges as reasons why a move to Scotland might appeal. Of course, any potential transfer would raise logistical and financial questions. VELA's salary demands and lifestyle preferences could pose stumbling blocks, and it remains to be seen whether Rangers board would be willing to sanction such a high-profile deal. Nonetheless, fans have already begun to dream of seeing the Chile Mexican international donning the famous blue shirt and leading the line in front of a packed Copland Road stand. Social media has been alight with chatter, with some supporters tracking VELA's recent movements and pointing to cryptic posts from the player himself as possible hints. Whether these are genuine signals or mere coincidences is anyone's guess. But the rumor mill shows no signs of slowing down. While for now it remains in the realm of speculation, the mere possibility of Carlos VELA arriving at Ibrox has added an extra layer of intrigue to what is shaping up to be an eventful transfer window for the Gers. As ever in football, only time will tell whether this latest rumor will materialize into reality or fade quietly into the ether. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.